Goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals, Quality Education, describes STEM and STEAM curriculum. There are currently two educational approaches to teaching children in the U.S., the STEM curriculum and the STEAM curriculum. STEM focuses on educating students in 4 specific disciplines: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM incorporates these principles into a cohesive paradigm that encourages motivation, engagement, and employs real-world applications. STEAM adds the arts to education and uses the 5 points to guide student inquiry, dialogue, and critical thinking. STEM supporters believe that curriculum naturally involves the arts. Examples include product design and the communication skills needed for language arts. STEAM supporters say incorporating the arts into the other disciplines devalues arts' importance. These two forms of teaching are not too different from each other. Exploring opportunities where art naturally fits into the STEM narrative can help create a healthy balance. Treating art as an applied subject, such as math and science, will give students a new discipline to learn that can also be applied to real-world situations. Design classes can help students learn how to create logos and organize information into presentations. Performing arts, like drama and speech, can help translate into technical writing and persuasive writing skills, which are abilities used in technology-driven and marketing career fields. Creative planning calls for students to use the right side of their brain to think outside of the box, which can come in handy when needing to create content and innovative thinking. Science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics are all important factors that make up the curriculum. Being able to learn about all of them will lead to well-rounded and versatile professionals.
To our next speaker, who is Dr. Sarangi. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. So Dr. Sarangi is a well-known feminist turned professor turned author. She's a poet, editor, and critic rolled into one. She's an independent, warm-hearted visionary who believes in the beauty of her dreams and full of life 24/7. The basic aim of her creation is its analytical aspect, is to reach the truth, which is both vital and universal. As she has served as an honorary member of the Juvenile Justice Board, and at present she is working as an associate professor of English at Ramadevi Women University in Bhubaneswar. So it's really nice to meet you and to welcome you to this platform. Now you have the floor, Dr. Sarangi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and namaste to all. So my topic for today is mitigating climate change steps forward. So it's about everybody is talking about sustainable skills in teaching and learning. So I have chosen this topic because I'm a professor of English. So the previous presentations were very nice. Well, not my area, but I would like to say something. I would like to introduce, request everybody for introducing eco-pedagogy in English classrooms, teaching and learning. So in a way, It will help us the mitigating climate change. That's my topic, steps forward. So what I believe is by equipping students with the knowledge and understanding of sustainability, education can empower them to make informed choices and adopt sustainable practices. So here I'd be focused on the curriculum, change in curriculum, where at least one module should be on the environment and ecology. So I'll go to my first slide. The environmental change is not only the responsibility of the scientist. Here I would like to say the global environmental change is now a collective consciousness, and the responsibility as the effect and consequence is, we know, felt by all. And environmental issues are of multifaceted dimensions. And the first law of ecology states that everything is connected to everything else. So it takes an art-centered approach to literary studies, and it also considers the interconnectedness of the living beings and the environment, and how literature, culture reflect and interact with the natural world. So literary concerns, literary concerns on the environment, as we all know, is not a novel idea. And the poetry of, you take the poetry of words. So since I'm a student of literature, I'm a professor of literature now. So the poetry of Wordsworth, Coleridge, Keats, Shelley, and Clare, and many other poets of the Romantic age laid the foundation and enduring exploration of the nature's significance, emphasizing its sublime beauty and interconnectedness between humanity and the natural world. So global crisis must be analyzed through the intersection of literature, culture, and physical environment. So as we all know, that environment issues are complex and involve a variety of interconnected factors such as ecology, society, economics, and politics. So solving these challenges requires a comprehensive and integrated approach. So we will be looking into the various aspects of sustainability. So here we can discuss the conference, the COP. The COP is the main decision-making body of the United Nations Framework Convention. And it's a treaty that aims to address the climate change. The aim is to encourage countries to take action that contribute to a more environment-friendly and sustainable future. So as per COP28, what they say is the climate change action cannot wait. So, and here we will talk about the Sustainable Development Goals as an universal call to combat poverty and climate change. So when I talk about NEP, you all, it's called the National Education Policy, that is from India, which main focus is on multidisciplinary and all inclusive education. So here what NEP stresses upon, the NEP stresses upon the incorporation of environmental awareness and understanding towards its preservation and sustainable development in the curricula itself. So teaching and for example, teaching and learning through multimodal mode, NEP stresses upon for proper incorporation of environmental awareness and understanding towards its preservation and sustainable development. So as per UNESCO, environmental study is not a distinctive branch of science and claims environmental education is a method of putting the objective of environmental conservation into practice. So here we'll be talking about, we'll be coming to our subject, that is the eco-pedagogy. So let's all understand what eco-pedagogy is all about. It is about a movement. It is to create transformative educational practice. What is transformative educational practice? It is a collective consciousness to combat climate change, combines the idea of proliferatory critical pedagogy and principles of complex thinking proposed by Morin. It aims to challenge the effects of neoliberal globalization by promoting an alternative global political project. So ecopedagogy is an interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary emerging academic field to be inculcated in the English pedagogy or any other pedagogy, so to say, seeking for human involvement. So human environment relationship for nature can further help in culture transformation. So here the study proposes to incorporate eco-pedagogy in classroom teachings through various workshops, training the teachers program, where they can prepare the teachers to make strategies to implement new pedagogy for the benefit of the mankind. Now, the study also directs the real world and engaging activities that can help students for greater appreciation of nature, improve their language skills, and promote awareness about environmental issues. So, next. Now we will be talking about the waves of criticism, eco-criticism. So this is very interesting because the first way abandoned the urban setting in 1980s and 1990s. And the primary concern is the first wave eco-criticism was to speak for nature. So the first wave eco-critics saw nature and human opposed to each other. So they felt that it is opposed to each other. And the second wave included the urban setting, that was in late 1990s. And the second wave eco-critics defined the term environment by including both nature, pastoral, and wilderness, and urban. So here we see a change. But if you come to the third wave concentrated on building environment in an urban setting, which we see also visualize in many places like countries like Singapore, places like Singapore and all. So it gives space to include teachers and students to find inventive ways to bring about a change in the society through their activities. Now here, I'll come to the next slide. That is incorporation of eco-pedagogy in English classroom teachings. So what is the role of teachers? So basically, you all must not be from English fraternity. I mean, let's think it in a nutshell. I mean, what do you say? Let's all think in a common way. So we have to design a curriculum that incorporates environmental themes and issues. So here, what we can do, we can merge environmental practices with teaching techniques and research. And here, what the next thing is, we can promote a sense of ecological interest among the readers. We can make learner conscious of the environment and its sustainability, and encourage sustainable practices to connect with nature, like going for a nature walk, going for a tour where you connect with nature, having some activity, whether it is a flash mob or any other activities that we can go and we can blend with nature. So next is weaving environmental concepts into literature and language lessons, add ecological principles into educational practices for an eco-conscious society. To find out the impact of environmental education and language acquisition and cognitive learning. So I would like to skip, because since all are not from English fraternity. So next is to investigate the effectiveness of integrating sustainability into language teaching methodology. Now we will talk of the role of Gen Z, like they are our targets because they are our students. And what we see, Gen Z, these are the people who are, so to say, they're more conscious of changes that are happening. They are more vocal about things. If you have observed, they're very vocal. They're a generation, born between 1997 and 2012. And the Gen Z activists want their voices to be heard and determined, and they try to bring a social change to save the world. So we can say they're socially focused at a very young age and keen about the social justice issue. So they are ready to, also they are ready to utter the inconvenient truth and make them noticed in the global forums. Popular activists like Greta Thunberg, uh, uh, popular activities like Greta Thunberg, Winters, Stella Keating, Chloe Hedden, Amika George, and these are the people who are engaged in discourse surrounding the sustainable world. So these are also the generation which are eco-conscious. They are the eco-conscious generation, and they are born in an era of climate change and are aware of the impact of the environment on climate fatigue. Practical survey through questionnaires, and we did take an interview of Gen Zs from different states, and what we find out, that these are the people who do not go for outdoor activities, and they are the people, like if you say, the responses, like they hardly go for any outdoor activities. So it is maybe because of the lack of spaces, geographical spaces, and we don't have space in an urban setting. We don't have field, we don't have playgrounds, we don't have enough playgrounds, we don't have enough parks where people can go and sit and have and enjoy nature. So here what happens, due to the population, the population of India is one of the highest populated, one of the, it's the highest populated country in the world. Here, next I'll be talking about incorporating, eco-pedagogy in language labs. So we have language labs where we can go for select environmental podcast. We can initiate group discussion, debates on environmental issues, and we can also brainstorm ideas for sustainable development. Um, in our university, we also have a book reading club where we take sci-fi fictions. We discuss about all kind of environment related themes, and the discussion, that is the so that the students will have brainstorm some ideas. They will have some vibe of the environment while discussing about the climate fictions. So next is celebrating seasons. In India, we have just like Basant, Sawan, Onam, and Bihu Utsav, Pahili Baisakh. These are typical to Indian festivals. So students' involvement in also wall magazines and themes related to environment in alignment with the seasons. So they can celebrate seasons through wall paintings, wall magazines. They can involve themselves. Next is the going for flash mob on environmental issues like climate change, deforestation, and any outreach activity in order to create a impact on civilians. So these are, so to say, as I have mentioned, that these are the team projects. They can also, students can also create meaningful dialogues, skit, role play, monologue that covers the environmental themes. So it is the role of the teachers to assign them such kind of activity which are some way or the other related to nature. So like nature tour as a departmental study tour, nature walk. Also, if you talk of language of food, that is called gustorics, where we can appreciate seasonal fruits And the student can also understand the relationship between food and culture. And as we know, the food is always the taste bud has always been developed by the geographical location. Like every place we have a distinct food item to enjoy. So people from different places, they have different food habits. So it is something somewhat building, that is understanding the relationship between food and culture. Like screening, we can show them movie screening on environmental issues as and after that we can have a post screening discussion as a part of, as we call a participatory learning, to enhance problem solving and critical thinking ideas. So these are the things I was trying to make so this I will skip this slide. I'll skip. Now I'll give you an example of an exemplary space where environment and human and environment come together. So I'll talk of Santiniketan. It is an university in eastern part of India. So where Tagore believed that students' active engagement with the natural environment in form of pragmatic learning. So here Santiniketan, which is also known as Vishwabharati University, celebrates season instead of festivals. And uh, with the changing time, the basic ideology of Tiger still remains. Students are taught under the skies, close to the natural environment. So there's a story behind that, because Tagore himself, when was a child, was not interested in studying, and he said, like if you are sitting under the environment and you are studying under a tree, then at least you don't have walls to wander around. So if you are not interested in the teaching and learning process, at least you will be looking at the you will feel the cosmos, you will looking at the nature around you, not the four walls. So that was his idea. And the Santiniketan, the university's curriculum was a unique blend of art, human values, and cultural interchange. So there itself, we can see the yoga, games, sports prescribed in Santiniketan as an integral part of the education system, where sensory training were the tools. So this is something we must appreciate at this point of time, though even if you see, it has lost its relevance now, because that pattern which was taught then is not being followed today, not to that extent. So learning that is not regulated by religion or regional barrier. So I'll skip all the slides because it is all here I have given some suggested sci-fi fictions and the curriculum using an ecological model in education. So I have suggested few books which I found very helpful for the students, so that they can get connected with the environment. They can understand the environment well through these fictions. So that's what all my presentation is about. And there's a power cut, so I'm somehow managing. Thank you so much. Any questions you have, I can.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sarangi, for the insightful talk. And it's very interesting because I'm hearing for the first time how to integrate English literature to, to the environment, to climate change. Well, we understand that English probably in terms of as an international tool, it's kind of okay to, but looking at it from this curriculum perspective, and to integrate this into eco concept. It's a very novel concept. So thank you very much again for that. So there are kind of a couple of questions here, but because of time, we probably want to take one or two of them. It's kind of in line with what I just said about integrating English literature to eco curriculum. So this person, Samprith, the person wants to know when it's, because it's kind of a very long question. So we're just trying to explain how different subject has been integrated into eco lessons. So the person wants to know, well, when it comes to English literature, what kind of specific learning objectives can be included in this subject to support eco-pedagogy in current climate scenario?
I didn't get you. You're asking me about the
Oh yeah, so
objectives for
so
indicating.
the person wants
Okay.
to know the specific
Huh.
objectives,
Specific
specific learning
objectives.
objectives, yes, that could probably be taught in class, and how to know how to educate people on pedagogy from the English literature perspective.
That is the human, to encourage them to be delve them into the human nature, human and nature, environment, human nature and environment, so that they can blend these things together. So that the main objective is that.
Okay, well, very good.
Human environment connection of human and environment.
Okay. Okay. So it's also going to come from this interaction perspective,
Yes.
rather than teaching the core English literature in class, if I understand correctly. Yes. Okay, yes. Perfect. Thank you very much. So another person wants to know the practical examples, which you've already mentioned in your presentation.
I've already mentioned practical examples like going for flash mobs, going to nature camps, having a eco classroom also, where you will have a, like, under the trees, just like I gave the example of Shanti Niketan. So these are some experimental ideas. Also, we can think of other things where nature can be blend into the classroom. So that would be very helpful, and I think the student will find it very interesting, and the idea might be they might find it as a novel idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like walk into nature and learn. You learn from nature. Not from, like, more from nature, less from classrooms. So
well, I agree. So but I think that's kind of all the questions, because all the questions here were talking about, how the English literature can be integrated into the eco-class, eco-pedagogy. So which I believe that you've answered, you've addressed them during in the classroom. So again, I want to say thank you very much again for coming. Thank you for your invitation. Thank you for honoring our invitation, and we hope that next time we call upon you, you would be very happy to join us as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Sarangi. So I also encourage that if you're still around, you can always check the chat, the Q&A. If there are other questions that you can always respond to, or probably get engaged with the participant as well, because that will be very much helpful. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much for the